The Interstellar War College of Karth was not built for comfort, it was built for dominant stone towers cut into a black mountain observation. Decks hung over a sea of storms inside the primary tactics chamber. 300 cadets from 40 species, weighted in perfect rows, each had survived planetary selection. Each believed they were superior. The center stood Commander Rylox of the Dravian Empire. His armored frame reflected the cold blue light. Above, scars ran across his plated face. Today, we test intelligence, he said. His voice vibrated through the chamber. You will design a silent trap. No explosives, no plasma, no gravity fields, no energy signatures. No, what is on your desk on every workstation sat identical items: thin rope, a metal ruler, ration brick, cup of water, a lubricant capsule, and a simple wooden pencil. A low murmur moved across the room. This was an insult. These were primitive objects. In the third row sat Anya Rao, human Earth, small compared to most around her, dark braid over one shoulder, calm eyes. Humans were new to the War College. They had arrived after surviving 3 border wars without advanced shielding. Many species still believed humans relied only on brute force. Commander Rylox lifted a claw. You have 1 hour silence. Falcadets began immediately. The Zealoth twisted rope into layered snares. The Krath folded metal rulers into crude spring clamps. The Orvani softened ration bricks with water to create sticky adhesive traps. Ferry design focused on complexity invisible. Mechanis Mania did not move. She looked at the pencil, rolled it between her fingers. Wood graffiti. Finger, she raised her hand. Commander Rylox stared. Yes, human, may we break the materials? You may use them however you wish. Shanya nodded. She placed the pencil flat on the metal desk, pressed down. The wood cracked sharply. Heads turned. She snapped it clean in half. She removed the graphite core, thin, brittle, sharp. She placed it aside. Then she took 1/2 of the wooden casing. She began scraping the broken end against the metal rulers. Slow, steady motion. Wood dust gathered. She rotated the piece, sharpening. Her movements were patient, controlled. Around her, the room, filled with clicking tools and strained breathing traps, grew more elaborate. Tanya ignored them. When the wood formed a tapered point, she dipped it in water, compressed the fibers, sharpened again, longer, narrower, deadlier. She used the metal ruler edge to smooth it. Then she wrapped thin rope fibers around the base to reinforce it, tight binding. Simple engineering. She stood. Commander Rylox approached, explained. She'd held up the sharpened wooden spike. Place this at eye level in a dark corridor. Secure it behind an unlocked door. Tape it to the underside of a desk. Edged. The target moves forward. The target triggers the trap. No sound, no energy, only consequential. Holox narrowed. His eyes would break snot if angled correctly, she replied. She walked to the demonstration dummy, a synthetic combat model with adjustable density. She positioned the spike at the soft throat seam. Wood pierced. Slow silencer. Sensor lights flashed. Critical damage. Wave of unease moved through the chamber. The Krath hissed. Primitive, a newer, corrected. She picked up the graphite cores, napped it into 2 shorter pieces, sharpened one end of each. Against the metal ruler, graphite dust streaked her fingers. These are smaller, she said. Under fingernails, inside sleeves, hidden in hair. Last defense, last strike. Commander Rylox studied her carefully. Your species favors close combat. We favor survival, she answered. There is a difference. The Zealoth raised a tendril. This is assassination, not trapping. Anya faced him. A trap is when the victim activates the weapon. The spike does nothing. A lone movement completes. Ithralox reset. The dummy lights dimmed. He positioned the wooden spike inside the doorway. Frame barely visible. Cadets were instructed to exit, then re-enter casually. 1 By one they returned careful scanning. Alert no one triggered Ithrolocks. Waited then. He spoke casually. Exercise, complete return to quarters relief. Washed over the room postures, relaxed conversation. Began the Orvani laughed, softly the Krath deactivated his clamped device. Tall Zelith stepped through the doorway, while turning to speak to a classmate. Forward, I ridge aligned perfectly. The spike entered the soft membrane. The dummy collapsed instantly. Silence crushed the chamber. No explosion, no flash, just a body on the floor. Commander Relox spoke evenly. Lesson recorded. Cadets stared at Onosome with respect. Relox turned to her. Why choose the pencil? Because no one fears it, she said. Weapons are expected to look like weapons. The pencil is invisible. He folded his heavy arms. Humans were underestimated in the border wars. YB, 'cause we use what exists, not what is impressive. She looked around the room. When you remove power, remove technology, remove noise, what remains is intent. Intent does not require advanced tools. The Krath stepped closer. Would you truly rely on wood in real battle? If that is what I have as and if you had plasma rifle. She held his Garzai would still carry something small and unnoticed, because when rifles fail, people relax, and that is when traps succeed. Commander Rylox dismissed. The class cadets filed out quietly. The Zelith avoided eye contact. The Orvani studied her hands. The Krath nodded once in acknowledgement. Outside the chamber, the sky over Karth churned with lightning. Ganya walked alone, footsteps steady behind her. Inside the empty chamber, Rylox remained. He picked up the remaining half of the pen, it between his claws. So simple, so dangerous. He opened his tactical evaluation console. Entered a single recommendation: increase cooperative drills with Earth forces, human adaptability, high psychological warfare capability, extreme. He set the pencil fragment on his desks, more ordinary, harmless in appearance. A cleaning drone entered, scanned the room, ignored the pencil. A Freelox watched it go. That, he muttered, is why they are dangerous. Days later, during advanced simulations, cadets found sharpened fragments hidden in impossible places. Side chairs, seams under console, grips along ladder rails. No one ever saw Anya place them. No one heard anything but simulation casualties increased by 17%. The War College stopped laughing at primitive tools, and across the stars, a quiet update spread through military databases. Human operatives require full material scan event. Writing instruments classified as potential threat. Back in her quarters, Anya sharpened another pencil slowly, not because she needed it, but because she understood something others did not. Civilizations rise on power, but survival often rests on the smallest unnoticed edge. She placed the finished spike into a plain fabric pouch, closed. It turned off the lighting. Darkness. The wooden point waited silent, invisible, ready.